Chapter 33 of the book Bones by Jonathan Kellerman. Now, Kelly Vander's pink couches were soft and yielding. Her condo had the afterthought of a temporary housing. The 70-inch TV was the source of the music, a cable or satellite station playing singers and standards. Jack Jones had given way to Eddie Gourmet, blaming everything on the bossa nova. Kelly touched the soda bottle, Fresca. If you want caffeine, there's Diet Pepsi. Nothing, thanks. Inhaling her cigarette down to the filter, she ditched it in the kitchen sink and found a pack of Winston Lights lit up. Some people think that diet is bad for you, but I think it's better than all that sugar. Larry should be back soon. She took something off the wall and brought it to me. Framed, glassed newspaper ad. Full color, May company spread. Junior Miss dresses and sweater emblems on clearance. The date, 31 years ago. This is me, pointing to the blonde girl in the plaid jumper. Even without puckers, Kelly Vander's mouth had a Simeon cast, and I wouldn't have picked her out. You modeled? She sat on the pink corner. I'm 5'5" now. Used to be an inch taller before my spine compressed. But even with that, I was too short for the big time. In the beginning, all they had me doing was kitty wear. My boobs came in late because as soon as I got a chest, the agency pushed me straight into juniors, and that's where I stayed. That's how I met Simon. He was in the rag trade, repping synthetic knits for a downtown manufacturer. There was a showcase for buyers, and they set up a runway at the Scottish Rite. Place squeaked like a haunted house. Over in Hancock Park, I said, near the E Bell, wondering if Kelvin Vander's recital venue would draw a reaction. Kelly Vander said, that's the one, Karma. She poured herself Fresca. Sure, I can't get you any. I'm fine. What was Karma? Meeting Simon. We girls were all lined up. They give us an outfits randomly. I just happened to end up with one of his company suits, blue double-breasted, metal buttons like a sailor, and I even wore a sailor hat. She touched her head, allowed herself a ragged brown smile. Crappy, Polly, scratchy. I couldn't wait to get out of it. Simon came up to me later. He'd gotten a big order, thanked me, and he was a little older than me, seemed sophisticated. She exhaled smoke. Nicotine vapors wafted across her glass, gave the soda the look of a potion. You're a psychologist, huh? Known plenty of those. Some good ones. Some not so good ones. That's better than no good ones. You work for the police? I freelance. Must be interesting. It can be. Big grin. What was your most exciting case? I smiled back. She said, can't blame any of them. The psychologist who tried to help me. What I had was resistance to change. Chronic eating disorder, resistance to change. They told me if I didn't stop starving myself, I'd drop dead or of a heart attack, and that scared me. But not enough, you know. Like there's two parts of my brain, the thinking section and the gimme section. One of the doctors who helped me said that it was a matter of developing new habits, and he had me do exercises getting the thinking section to dominate. That makes sense to you. It does. I'm okay now. Running her hands over her bony body, I could probably still keel over from what I did to myself back then. But so far, knock on mahogany. You were healthy enough to have a child, you know, Simon. She looks just like me. I should do my teeth. It's obvious, right? They're all rotted from bulimia. Everyone says that I'd look 10 years younger if I did have my teeth, but I'm not sure I want that. To look younger, exactly, she said. Every time I see myself in the mirror and cringe, it reminds me of how I got the way in the first place. What do you think, professionally speaking? Do I need that reminder? I don't know you well enough, I said. Ding. Good answer. She pumped air and checked a wall clock. Where's Larry? I finally got some insights. Third rehab's the charm. Did you meet Larry in rehab? She shook her head. I don't speak for Larry. I know what I know, and that in his emotional acreage is his. Speaking of which, she glanced at the door. I'd been listening for footsteps, and I'd heard nothing. Moments later, the panel of orange wood swung up wide open, and a 63 inches of sunglassed, aloha-shirted Larry Brackle charged in, swinging a greasy white bag. A carton of Winston Lights was positioned under his arm. And you got donuts, honey? Those crunchy maple walnut cinnamon. He removed his shades. We got a guest, Kelly Vander. You do, Larry? It's all about you, baby doll. Larry Brackle flicked ashes into a coffee cup. You're trying to tell me Travis is some kind of buddy. No, offense, sir, but that's lunacy. Kelly Vander said, that's what I told him, sweets. They had sat next to each other, knees pressed together, smoking in unison, making their way through the fresca. I said, the police consider him a prime suspect. Brackle said, police thought that the first time. You know Travis's history? Hesitation, sure. It was the papers, not the local papers' silence. I said, the Farias Ravine claration, pretty obscure. Mr. Brackle, unless you know his story from some other source. Brackle turned to Kelly Vander. Her face stayed blank. He said, whatever, I heard about it. Travis told you, whatever. Did you meet him in rehab? Look, sir, I want to do a good citizen, but I don't speak for Travis. He owns what he owns, and my shit is my own. No offense. I said, speak for yourself then. Did you know him before he took Brandine to the hospital or after? Brackle's jaws worked. Pint-sized man, but his wrists and hands were thick and sturdy. Man, I'm hungry. He sprang up, jogged to the kitchen, and returned with a slab of pound cake on a paper plate. Split, honey? No, it's yours. Brackle kissed her cheek. It could be yours, too. You're so sweet, but Mrs. Tummy's full, said Kelly Vander. I'll wait till dinner. You're sure? It's good cake. I am, sweetie. Okay, let's have those steaks for dinner. You can have one, Lar. Little heavy for me. I'll cut them into thin strips. We'll see. You liked them that way before. Yeah, that was good. But I don't know. I'm kind of full. I said, I'm thinking you knew Travis before he found Brandine. He went looking for her and Brandy in order to help you out. Now, come on, sir. Don't be going off on some guessing game. Travis is a good man. I'm not saying he isn't. I know he didn't hurt Brandy. Brackle's hands became glossy glossy white fists. Hell, no, he didn't. Everyone knows who hurt Brandy, sir. Gibson D. Paul, scum. They sent him up for life, and he killed another inmate and got sent to Pelican Bay, sir. You keep tabs on him? We get the victim's notification mailer they send us. Us meaning the two of you, or you and your ex. I can't say what she does, or she gets. Where is Anita? You tell me. Lost contact. Anita couldn't change herself. Didn't want to try. What about the kids? I seen them on some holidays, said Brackle. What's the diff to you? Why all this curiosity about my family? Sorry, my main interest is Travis. Then you're spinning your wheels, sir. He didn't kill nobody. Not then, not now. Interesting, I said. What is? The police consider him a prime suspect, but people keep showing up who consider him a saint. Like who? Deborah Wellenberg. Brackle and Kelly Vander looked at each other, burst into sudden strident laughter. I said, must have missed the joke. Brackle said, saints. There ain't no such thing. We're always talking about that. All there is, sir, are sinners of different degrees, and what we all need is to learn to forgive ourselves, not wait for some preacher to do it. I said, so both of you met Travis in rehab? No answer. It's just a secret that you can't be kept very long. Travis is entitled to his privacy, sir. Getting help's not something to be ashamed of, Mrs. Brackle, or Mr. Brackle. On the contrary, he got himself together. Kelly Vander said, okay, fine, that's where we met him. I said, did you recommend him to Simon as payment for rescuing Larry's granddaughter? Brackle said, you're a smart one. Why don't you use that brain on something important? How long before Brandy's murder did you meet him? Right before, okay, 7 months. I'd already decided to leave Anita because she refused to get better, and I knew if I stayed with her I'd be dead soon. Only thing that stopped me was the kids. 3 of hers, including Brandy, and we had one together. That's Randy. He's in the service over in Fallujah got decorated. Randy's a wonderful boy, said Kelly, wistfully. Brackle said, we got a consensus on that, yeah. That's where we met Travis, the three of us trying to get straight. His treatment was being paid for by that lawyer, Wellenberg. I thought it was a damn nice of her, and told him so. And told him he should take advantage of Amazing Grace and improve himself. I was using my own dough, plus work disability place cost a fortune. Kelly said, Simon footed my bill, even though we were divorced. When was this? I said, 12 years ago. Simon and I had split up 3 years before, but we stayed friends. I put Simon through a lot, and he stopped loving me, but he still liked me. No matter what, I never praised or raised my voice to him, never tried to squeeze any extra money out of him, even after he got real rich, and I thought I deserved not to be loved, so I made sure he stopped loving me. Simon was a teacher or teenager, the stress, I wouldn't handle anything. Simon said, give it another try. Kel, you owe it to yourself. We'll find a great place and all the creature comforts. He got me brochures. I like the one from Pledges, lots of trees. Pledges is in South Pasadena. You know it? Good place, I said. Closed down a few years ago. Larry Brackle said, great place. They got bought out of one of those corporations bastards ran into the ground. Kelly said, first day I got there, I met Larry. He liked me and loved me, but it wasn't for years that he admitted it because he was still married and I wasn't in a receptive state. Didn't see myself committed to anyone. How long have you two been together? Brackle said, officially 9 years in here, patting his heart, from forever. Kelly Vander said, instant friendship and acceptance. I never heard that with a man. Simon's a good man, but I knew I was failing him constantly, and you can't live being a failure all the time. I said, the cops say Travis was a poly drug user. No answer. Rehab helped the two of you, but it didn't work for him. 2 years afterward, he was homeless. That's where I saw him, said Larry Brackle. On the street. Used to work in Hollywood, big apartment building, nice place west of La Brea. Assistant super. On my way home, I generally took the boulevard, drove past the Chinese theater. One night, I spotted Travis there, panhandling tourists. He looked real bad, compared to when he was at the Pledges. I mean, stringy hair, beard, all hunched over, not doing too good with the tourists because he wouldn't get in anyone's face. That's Travis, he don't confront. And I drove around the block, pulled up, laid a 20 in his palm, and he saw me, or it was me, started to cry, and said that he was sorry for screwing up. Kelly said before we got discharged, the three of us made a promise to change and to reach out to each other when our thoughts turned bad. Larry and I stuck to it, and that's how we succeeded, but we lost touch with Travis. Brackle nodded. I told him, no one's judging. You man, come on home with me for a meal and a bath. He ran off the next day. He wasn't there the same for the entire week. But then I saw him again, same deal, his hands out, even worse looking. This time he agreed to go with me. Anita was pissed off, said that you see any extra room in this dump, genius. What with her, me, all the kids, we had a couple of dogs too. I said I'd sleep outside in the backyard if that made it better. She said maybe both of you should. What ended up happening was Travis used this tool shed we had. I cleared away junk and put out the mattress, and he'd come and go as he pleased, and I got him a haircut. Once the hair was off, we saw all these pierces that he had in his ears, like a pirate. Especially with that limp, he was like a pirate. Kids loved the piercings. Anita hated them. Kelly said, but Anita came to like Travis. What changed Anita's mind was that he was gentle with the kids. Soon she was letting him tell the kids stories, and then he was holding the baby, being real good with the baby. Of course, Anita could be unpredictable, what with drinking and weed, so it wasn't always perfect, but mostly we had peace. Deep drag on his cigarette. Kelly really liked that baby, man. It's been a long time now. You're wanting to tell me Travis is some kind of murderer monster? No way, Joe's or Jose. I'm no shrink, but I know people pretty good, and Travis is good people. I said, tell me about the night Brandy disappeared. She didn't disappear, sir. She went with him. That garbage you don't mention by name. Now that one was evil from the get-go. His own family was scared of him. When Brandy didn't come back, We went right out over to their place, Travis and me. His folks looked scared, so the little shit-face talked about visiting with Brandy and the baby. That's all they knew. Travis and me went searching the neighborhood. Travis took a bunch of streets and I took some others. He found the baby, saw the blood, and took her to the hospital. So he knew something had happened to Brandy. Brandy was hidden. That's what the cops said. Off in some bushes. The baby was out in the open. He was thinking about the baby. Why did he walk to the hospital rather than contact you, scared? Wouldn't you be, said Brackle, going to jail once for something that you didn't do? Now there's a baby with blood? Not that he said it, but it's just what I figured out. The boy's whole life was fear. I'd walked by the shed and hear him moaning, bad dreams. Day, night, there'd be this look in his eyes. What's the word? Haunted. He was haunted by what they did to him. Anyone would be. The way they beat his brain around. He probably got all freaked out. The cops would blame it on him. But even with that fear, he wanted to make sure that the baby was okay. I said, so you never talked to him about it? Nope. Travis disappeared after dropping Brandy at the hospital. How'd you know it was him? Cops described him, asked if we knew who he was, but we didn't let on. We were all crazy over what happened to Brandy. Didn't want to complicate things. The main thing we find out who did it to her, and then we did tell him. I said Travis took a 2-mile walk in the cold. Travis was a walking man, sir. Filled most of his days walking. Where? Everywhere, said Brackle. But don't go misunderstanding. There was nothing crazy to it. He just liked to walk. It's the best exercise, said Kelly. I used to do 10 miles a day. I still do 5. The skin around Brackle's eyes creased. He forced himself cheerful. Exactly aerobatic. Boy wanted to be aerobatic. No, sir, he just liked to walk. I said, how did Travis hook up with Simon? Kelly said. That was years later. We hadn't heard from him for a while. Then out of the blue, he called Larry to let him know that he was doing better. Finally got himself some help that stuck, said Brackle. Where? He didn't say, and I didn't ask. He sounded good, and I could tell that this was different. I invited him for coffee with me and Kelly. He looked good, clear-eyed, and said Kelly, intelligent. That never really came out before because he was always so depressed. He said that he was looking for steady employment, would do anything to make an honest buck, and I knew Simon was looking for someone to manage his house. He'd been through a couple of flanks, needed someone reliable. He said sure, he'd try Travis out. It worked out great. I said, did Travis talk about what he'd been doing since the last time that you saw him? No, sir, said Brackle. Where was he living? I got the sense that he'd been traveling. Any idea where? He didn't get nosy with him, said Kelly. We were thrilled that he was doing better. It worked out great for everyone. Simon thanked me for finding Travis. Travis is gentle. He'd never hurt anyone. Now I am getting kind of hungry, Brackle said. Yep, dinner time. We'd invited you to join us, sir, but we always portion for 2. I drove back to the city. A yellow Volkswagen was parked in the front of my house. Unoccupied, cold engines, no sign of Alma Reynolds. My remark about her mother's pearls had scared her. Maybe Robin had let her in. As I climbed to the stairs, a voice behind me said, Now I'm stalking you. He stepped out from the side of the house, came toward me carrying a green vinyl attaché case, brand new, tag still tied to the handle, not much different from the one Milo uses when the murder books get thick. She wore a plaid shirt, jeans, work boots. Gray hair flew in all directions. Her eyes were hot. Here, take it, she said, thrusting the case. We're finished. My hands stayed at my sides. The case touched my chest. Don't worry, it doesn't tick. Take it. Let's talk. She snatched it away, sprang the latches. Inside were stacks of $20 bills held together by rubber bands. Atop the money, a black velvet jewelry box. She said, including the damn pearl. Satisfied? I said, going for the simple life. Stop being nasty. This is what you wanted. I'm giving it to you. What I want is information. Doesn't this say it all? And it implies, but why don't you come up and we'll talk? What? Therapy. Is there a couch? The psych board website lists this is your office. I think that you'd be more careful since seeing that it's your home. What if I was a psychopath? Should I be worried? Oh, sure, I'm packed heat. She laughed, flipped her pockets inside out, placing the case on the ground, and stomped to the VW, turned her back, slammed her palms on the hood. Is this the proper position? Come on, I said. Just give me a few minutes of your time. She straightened her and faced me. Her eyes were wet. Still taught me the position. She got used to doing it automatically at protests. Sometimes the cops hit him anyway. He was a man of principle, and I took it, and look where it got him. So, but hell, why should I have anything nice? I'm sure his principles were strong. That made finding his cash stash doubly shocking. Look, she said, I'm giving it to you, every bit of it. My hands are clean. Goodbye. Let's clarify a few things, and that really will be the end of it. So you say. The way I see it, you're the person of principle, and I said, I'm not this enemy. Arms folded across her chest, she wiped her eyes, nudged the case with a work-booted toe. Oh hell, I used to be Catholic. What's another damn confession?